Hi everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm going to recap my trades from Thursday and Friday. Did Had a lot going on this weekend and didn't get a chance to recap these. So I'm going to kind of quickly go through my trades and give you an idea of how my week ended. It started very slow and just I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was just the market or, sometimes your setups just don't hit. And I think that's kind of the way it was. It just didn't work out. But the thing is, you can't panic. I mean, I've been through 2 weeks of this where everything is slow. I've been to 3 weeks where everything is just slow. But if you believe in your setup and you believe in your trading, eventually it's going to come back. So the worst thing you can do is try to change and make all these wholesale changes and try to trade other setups because you'll end up getting lost. So I just stick to it, take what the market gives me, and then move on to the next day. On Thursday, the first stock I traded was CPXX. Had a brain fart here. I can't put it any other way. I rarely trade within the first 5 minutes, and for some reason, I just thought this thing was gonna run, and it did run. I mean, I did get in, and it did run up, but I tried to get filled up here, but none of my orders hit, and it came right back down, and I ended up having to stop out and started this day red. Started Thursday red. Only lost, 12 cents, but still, here was something that I could have gotten 30 cents right off the bat. And 30 cents on a 2,000 share position is not bad. But ended up losing 12 cents. And you can see this thing did turn around and make the move up that I wanted to see to start with. I was expecting a sell off and then possibly a bounce. And I was going to look to trade the sell off and then turn around and trade the bounce. But that's not what happened. Kind of got out of whack and just left it alone after that. Here was a nice, move back down, a nice rejection of this level that I was looking for. But, for a secondary trade, but didn't happen the way I wanted it to. So, just took that loss and moved on to the next trade. The next one was LB. And let me pull that up. You see, the morning this one had this crazy run, and I didn't catch the reversal here, so I waited to see if it would fail a VWAP. And at this point, the psychological part of starting the day with a losing trade kind of got the best of me here because I did enter this trade a little bit too early. I was anticipating a VWAP fade. I was safe because my stop was going to be, above the 9. So I was pretty much safe in getting his entry, but this isn't what I normally like to do. Normally I like to wait for the break, take it on this retest, and then take it down to the next level. But I did get in early. We got a retest here, so if you missed getting in here, you had a chance here on this retest of VWAP, and it failed, and we had a nice short. And I ended up taking some off here at 60.75, and then got the next leg down. I took some off here when it hit the lower deviation band at 60.41 and watched it come down. I was waiting for it to hit this. Now this was my ultimate target, but it didn't make it. It kind of turned around here, which I think I missed a level of support here. This held as support during pre-market as well. So I'm pretty sure I missed this level somewhere. But I have to go back and find it. That's part of what I'm gonna do tonight. But as it turned around, and I didn't wait for it to lose VWAP, um, it just looked like it wasn't. I mean, lose the 9 moving average. It just looked like it wasn't gonna go and give me the move down that I wanted. So I went ahead and took it off here. And because I was already, I started the day down, and I just wanted to make this as solid of a trade and book as much profit as I could. So that was my LB trade. And going into Friday, ROST was my trade Friday, and this was a opening fade. This candle, I wasn't expecting. I was expecting one candle probably up to here, but here again, I was looking to take this long into this 200 moving average. Now the daily came through probably around 53.30. The 200 moving average on the daily was here, but for my opening range trades, I don't pull anything from the daily. If I'm trading the opening range, I'm going to look at the intraday chart. That's going to give me, the only thing I'm pulling from the daily are the pivot points. On the moving averages, I'm not going to respect until later on in the day. So this one came up, and I expected this candle to open and test this again to give me a little bit better entry, but it didn't. This candle opened, and I took it based on this upper deviation band from the VWAP. That's what I was looking for to base this trade off of. If it did go up, I was in a position where I could have added to it if I had to on this test. I was fully ready to do that, but I didn't have to. It did wash out, and tried to catch it here on VWAP, and it came down and bounced. I did catch it a little bit up, and when I realized VWAP wasn't gonna, we weren't gonna get VWAP to fade, and it wasn't gonna fail, I went ahead and took it off here. I really should have taken some here at the 9. I could have took another piece off here, but I didn't. This just ran up kind of quick. Before I could make the decision to do it, it was already too late. And then I went ahead and tried to catch it here at break even. So it was a nice little trade. Did make some pretty decent profit. Typical for opening range. I just expected it to lose the VWAP in this level and possibly come back in a little bit before it turned around and went back, but didn't get that move. But still a profitable one anyway. FL was another ticker I had on watch from the open. You can see the sell-off. It reported earnings, missed earnings, so we had a big sell-off pre-market. So I was kind of looking for it to bounce off of this level to give me a long back up to the VWAP, and then I would short the VWAP fade. That was my plan at open. But obviously, as a lot of my plans do, they don't materialize, and I have to kind of change and adapt it based on what this stock is telling me it wants to do. So because I was in ROST, I missed the opening move and the subsequent bounce. But when it failed to push VWAP, and failed to push the 9, I went ahead and got short here because this stock appeared to be very weak. I was watching level 2 and time and sales, and even though we had this, these nice moves here, it just seemed to be weak. So I went ahead and got short here. Covered some right here at 54.38. Didn't hold it to 54.40 like I had anticipated. I had typed in chat that I was going to hold it, here. Hold it, this was my first target, but I got kind of shaken out a little bit. My emotions were getting the best of me here. So I went ahead and took some off. And I let this get down to 53.90. I tried to get some at 53.85 and it didn't feel. I hit 53.90 and it kind of traded back and forth here for a minute. So I was able to get filled at 53.90 for that that cover. And then I waited and I ended up getting out here at 55.15. I just kind of waited too long to get out because I really should have gotten out when it took this level out. But I waited, didn't get out when it tested the 9. And this whole time I'm holding this last piece. I'm expecting it to, turn around. But it never did. So I ended up, now here's where I got out right here. At this one right here, I just held it because I should have gotten out here, should have gotten out here, should have gotten out at the VWAP here, but then it turned around. I had the 20 and the VWAP, so as long as it never pushed VWAP, I felt good about the trade. So it came down, thought it was going to lose this level, but it never did. It recovered, pushed back up, popped over VWAP again. By then the 20 had come in and it started trading above the 20, so I kind of got worried here. And then we started gearing up that I felt to pop the VWAP. So what I said I was going to do, and I mentioned this in chat, that if it does pop the VWAP, I would flip what I had left short and go long with it, and then go for the move up to 55.86. And that's exactly what I did here at 55.15. I flipped it, went long, but the problem was I forgot and ended up getting in too heavy. I thought it somehow I ended up with 2,000 shares long after I covered this, and I don't understand what I did. I think instead of 1,500, I did 25 or whatever the case was, and it had me going crazy for a while because that was way too much size that I wanted for this. But the only reason that I kept it on, it was a long trade, which I felt a little bit more comfortable with. A short trade, I know it could wash out at any minute. A long trade, I knew it could wash out, but I had the 9, the VWAP, and the 20 right here to really, make me feel a little bit more comfortable. So I did take some off here. I finally got, it got the best of me here, and I took half of it off, and then took some more off here to where I had like a quarter of my position left, and I ended up taking the rest off here as it came down. I was really looking for it to hit this level. That's what I was kind of holding for, but it didn't make it. This wasn't a real strong move, and eventually it did make the move and tap this, after I got out here. There's really no reason to, because everything was based off the VWAP, and I could have held through it. This is one of these false or fake outs that you're going to lose the VWAP. A lot of times we get a candle to close below it. The next candle open below it, but then it pushes up and it gets bought right back up and closes back above VWAP. So it kind of, chopped around here for a little bit before it actually made the move. But I wasn't going to hold through this. This wasn't, something I like to do. Plus, this right here had my nerves so shot I was done for the day. When I start making stupid mistakes and miscalculations, then I know it's time for me to stop trading and just shut it down for the next day. In this case, it was Friday and there wasn't any reason to chase anything else anyway. So those were my day trades. I did have one swing trade on, and let me go to it. See, EW. EW is a swing trade I've been working for the last couple of days. It's my first swing short, and I was looking for it to lose this level before I got in, and that's where I got in, right here at 170. And this kind of scared me Friday because it actually gapped up Friday morning. This thing gapped up pretty much $2, almost $2, or gapped up $1 and then ran up almost to 100. So it did kind of scare me a little bit, but then I remember this is a swing trade. So, I have to treat it as such. So I can't sit here and watch it. If it hits my stop, then yeah, I'm gonna stop out. And a stop out is a close over this level. And if it gaps up Monday some more, then it's probably gonna hit my stop and take me out. But I'm expecting this to continue to go back down. My plan is to cover some at 95. At this point, I may get it at 96. I may take it a little bit earlier. Just because we had this gap up, that's probably going to change, where I want to take profit first, but I'll look at this tonight and kind of have a plan for tomorrow on it. But really should have taken some here at 97.50, when it closed here, because that is, $3 already on this. But, I didn't, and it's still something that I'm learning, where's the best place for me to take profit. I don't want to leave it on and just hold it and say, hey, I want the whole thing. I'm still going to manage this similar to my day trades, where I will take profit at a strategic point and then leave some on to see if I want to get, the continued move. I'm sized. When I enter the trade, that's my thought process. So I'm not entering the trade just to hold a little bit to get the big move. I'm going to break this thing up. So that's what I'm looking for tomorrow on EW. I'm looking for it to, open lower and continue to sell off and eventually close this gap. But that's it for me. You can see my week started out slow. Had a red day Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday were pretty slow. Not the best of days. Had a nice trade on Thursday on LB, and then FL was a big trade on here. The two trades on FL is what made my Friday. So this week compared to all the other ones was down. Not really sure how next week's gonna be because we're going into holiday. Next Monday is a holiday, so I'm expecting maybe Thursday and Friday things to slow down going into the long weekend. But time will tell. I think we have free chat tomorrow, so we ought to have a lot of fun in it. If you're not part of our chat, if you're not part of Warrior Trading, just come on in, go to the website warriortrading.com and sign up for our free chat Monday, and come in and join us and see what we have going on. So that's all for me. Hope everybody has a great Sunday evening or a great Monday morning if you're on the other side. But we'll see you tomorrow in chat.